viewers, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 2021. Happy New Year. I hope it's a fruitful year for you. I hope it's a year of prosperity and it's a year where all your dreams and your goals come true. In true beginning of the year spirit, lots of people are sitting down, setting their goals for the year, plans for the year. Everyone is in planning mode. I thought, you know what, first video of 2021, we have to sit and talk about how to set and achieve financial goals in 2021 and even beyond that. So I'm really excited about this video. Let's get straight into it. So before we get into setting and achieving financial goals, I want us to first define what a financial goal is. So a financial goal is a saving, investing, a spending target that you set for yourself to achieve within a specific time frame. And where you are in your life kind of determines what type of goals you set. And why I say this, I'm not saying that we're not going to have the same goals as someone else. I'm just saying that wherever you are in your life or the stage that you're in your life kind of determines what type of financial goals you set for yourself. If you are in varsity, you will set different goals to someone who is, for example, working, or someone who's going into retirement, or someone who's getting married, or someone who's just had a child, or someone who, you know, has kids going into varsity, or whatever the situation is. Wherever stage or whatever stage you are in your life, they kind of determine what type of financial goals you set for yourself, right? And you know, the next thing is to determine or to explain why you need to set financial goals. And I'll go with this quote, which I think is so true: if you fail to plan, right, you plan to fail. And I think the saying is so true. It goes back to the book by Simon Sinek, which says start with why. If you don't know why you're doing something, it doesn't add purpose, it doesn't add value, it doesn't give you that motivation to actually achieve that specific thing. Knowing why you are setting financial goals and knowing why you want to achieve specific things in a specific time frame really helps give you that motivation to actually get up and actually implement those goals that you have set, actually work towards achieving them. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, honey, I promise you, you're not going to be motivated to actually even do anything about achieving them, right? And I just want to give some examples of financial goals. So examples of financial goals could be budgeting. You know, you're wanting to get a better handle on your budgeting. It could be saving money for a deposit for a house or a car. You know, it could be saving for retirement. It could be getting out of debt. It could be living below your means. Basically, financial goals don't have to necessarily be monetary. Living below your means is mainly like a mindset type of financial goal, where your life is not funded by debt, but it's actually funded by your income, and you're living below your means, meaning you are freeing up or you are giving space for saving and investing, because you're not spending every single cent that you earn and you own, but you are actually using whatever's left over to actually build wealth and to actually you know, create a financial freedom for yourself and a financial cushion if anything should happen. So you know, I think it's very important to sit down and determine why you are even considering setting financial goals, you know, and that's going to give you the necessary motivation to actually go out and achieve them. Right, now let's go into actually setting financial goals. I'll be going through some simple tips and steps that you can follow that can help you really set and even achieve those financial goals. So the first thing is to sit down and write down every specific goal that you want to achieve. Everything, right? This I call the dreaming phase. I call this phase the phase where you can actually pour out your heart and pour out your thoughts and pour out exactly what you want to achieve. And in this phase, you are going to be able to also kind of sift through and look and see what is within reach, which will fall in part of your short-term goals, and what do you need to give more time to achieve, which will be more part of your long-term goals, right? And I say this is the dreaming phase because I believe that if it's in your heart, it's in your mind, and you want to achieve it, the means to achieve it are already there, right? You already believe that you can achieve it. A lot of the times you won't have a goal that you feel like you want to achieve and feel so strongly about that you actually write down and create a plan if you weren't intending on achieving it, right? So this part is the part where, you know, you are sitting down, you are really being intentional about what the goal is, and here it's also the starting or the beginning phase to determine whether something is going to be short term or something is going to be more long term, right? Then the next step I would say is to apply the SMART goal strategy. You know, the SMART goal setting strategy. And what SMART stands for, it's SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based or timely, right? If we say specific, if for example you have a goal to save 10,000 Rand in a year, right? That's specific but not specific enough. Take it a step further by saying you want to save 10,000 Rand in 2021 because you want to have a deposit for a house or have a deposit for a car, or you want to save this money because you want to pay off debt. If you add the why you want to save this, going back to what I said, why, knowing why you're setting financial goals, it gives you that more motivation. It adds more value to that goal, right? It adds more a story behind it, and it makes it more attainable or relevant to you, right? Because you know why you're setting it and why you want to actually achieve it. So specific, it has to be a specific goal. You can't just say I want to save money, okay? But saying I want to save 10,000 Rand in 2021 so that I can have money to pay off debt, for example. And then the next step is measurable, right? If you can't measure this goal against anything, it's just a goal. You just want to save 10,000 Rand in the year. But then if you are able to measure it, right, and say I want to save 10,000 Rand in 2021, and 2021 already is a sort of a time frame, because 2021 ends on the 31st of December 2021. So by that date or time, you need to have saved this amount. But measurable throughout the year, right, where you can check it by every quarter. Am I still on track? Am I going to be able to achieve this? Go even further by breaking it down bite size and saying 10,000 in a year divided by 12, that's about 833 Rand each month that you need to be saving to actually achieve this goal. And then you need to measure this by March. You need to have saved this X amount. By June, you need to have saved X amount. By September, you need to have saved X amount. And obviously by December, the total amount should be saved, right? Then the third thing is attainable. And this step I think is very important, because in the first step we were writing down all the goals that we want to achieve, the dreams and the visions. But then here we are saying, is it attainable? Is it really attainable? Is this something that you really can actually achieve? And why is it important to do this is that it helps you stay motivated. It doesn't make sense to set a goal that is way up here and there aren't any specific steps that you can follow to actually achieve it. At the end of the day, you'll be demotivated and it just won't be helpful for you. It's very important to make sure you are setting attainable goals. If you're wanting to save 10,000 Rand in the year of 2021, can you physically be able to save 833 Rand each month to achieve this goal? If 833 Rand is a bit too much for you and you can only save 500 Rand, then you need to adjust the goal so that it is attainable for you. Because remember, achieving goals gives you motivation to keep going and to continue. Then if you have reached whatever the amount that you've reached, then next year you can then say, on what I've already saved, I want to save 10,000, meaning building onto that. You are now stretching the goal further, but it has to be an attainable goal, right? And then the R is relevant. And I think this is very important. The step is very important, because if it's not a relevant goal to you, you won't feel motivated to actually achieve it. If it's not relevant to you, if it's not relevant to your life, and if it's just doesn't have a why that is relevant to you, you're not gonna be able to achieve it. Don't set goals based on what other people are doing and what other people are achieving. Set goals that are relevant to you and that you can physically attain. You can physically achieve those goals. Then the last one is the T, which is timely or time-based. Having deadlines and having timelines on when to achieve something by a specific point and when you need to achieve a specific goal helps hold you accountable, right? Because it's all fun and games to sit down, write down these goals and have this elaborate plan, but if you don't actually have anything to hold you accountable by having a deadline, then it's almost very lenient on yourself and you can just you're not going to treat it with urgency. But if you're saying 31 December 2021 I need to have saved 10,000 Rand, there's a timeline. You've got a time frame and you need to work towards achieving that by breaking it down and setting quarterly reviews where you review it on a quarterly basis and say, okay, cool, I've saved this amount. Am I still on track to make what I need to make at the end of the year? Or is it now out of my hands? And also time-based relates to short, mid and long term. If you're wanting to retire, for retirement, that's more of a long-term goal. If you're wanting to do something big, you know, you then know it's more of a midterm goal. But then also give yourself deadlines, give yourself timelines to say 2025, this is what's happening. In 10 years time, this is what's happening. It helps you stay accountable. Then the third thing I would mention right now is set a realistic budget, right? Guys, I will preach budgeting until I'm blue in the face because of what budgeting has helped me with in my life. It has just really changed my life completely. And in this part of setting a realistic budget, this is where you're weighing in what's coming in, what's going out, and using that to work into achieving that goal, right? If what is coming in and what is going out is not leaving any room or any space for you to achieve that goal, this is where you need to evaluate your finances. I always say a budget should be able to point out leaks that are happening in your financial ship so that your financial ship doesn't sink. If there are leaks and you are, you know, there's unnecessary spending that's going on, or, you know, you need to be cutting out, you need to be making more income, or whatever the situation is, creating a realistic budget really helps you to see, is this goal going to really be achievable in the specific time frame that I have? Can I, you know, save 833 Rand a month comfortably within my budget so that I can make this goal? What do I need to do to change that? Do I need to cut down on what I'm spending? Do I need to earn more money, or whatever it is? I think it's very important. Okay, then the second thing, once you've determined, is it a short, mid, or long-term goal, kind of determine how much you will need to achieve this goal, right? If it is a monetary goal. So as we've mentioned, we're using the example of 10,000 Rand. How much do you need to save each month? 833. Evaluate that and see how much you actually need. And what changes do you need to do to actually achieve that? As I mentioned, cutting out expenses, earning extra income, using any extra resources. And the last thing that I'm going to mention in this creating a budget realistic one is that you need to really make sure that you are exploring all the possible ways in order for you to achieve this goal, right? It's all fun and games to write down this plan and say this is what you want to achieve, but if you don't have a backup plan, if you don't have a plan B, it kind of leaves you exposed to failure, right? And that's why I think it's important to explore all possible ways of you achieving this goal. By exploring all possible ways, writing down a budget, setting the specific amount, pointing out the financial leaks, if there are any in your budget, that can help you stay committed and, you know, help you stay on course in achieving that financial goal. And then the next thing I would say is when you are in this space of exploring all possible ways of achieving this goal, it helps you also kind of when you're in the reflection mode and you're reflecting and checking how you actually fared out into achieving your goals. It helps you stay accountable and say, I've tried every possible thing I could to achieve this goal, but it just didn't happen. Why? You know, and you can be able to go retrace the steps and say, I tried plan B, I tried this option, it didn't work. Then you can ask yourself, was it a SMART goal? Was it specific? Was it measurable? Was it attainable? Because maybe it wasn't attainable for you in your current life. What can you do better to actually make it attainable? Was it relevant to you? And was the timeline you gave yourself realistic as well, you know, to achieve this goal? So I think it's very important. Then the last and final step in actually setting and achieving goals, I would say, is to monitor your progress and re-evaluate accordingly. I think this step is very important because when we are setting goals, we are in, you know, an optimistic phase. We are all excited. We feel like we can do it. We can go. Yes, yes, yes. But then there comes a time where you need to actually monitor the progress and see, am I still on track to achieve this specific goal? How am I doing? If you're wanting, for example, one of my biggest goals this year is to build and grow my financial education and my financial knowledge, and that's why I'm working with a company called PocketFin, and they are a financial education site. They've got they're going to be rolling out about 160 courses in the space of 2 years. And you know, if you're interested, I'll leave a link down below, and if you're interested in, you know, joining them and joining me on this journey, I have a discount code. I'll leave it down here and in the description, where you can get 15% off your monthly subscriptions. And for me, this is not a monetary goal, but I want to really elevate my financial education to share with you guys, but also to implement in my life, because once the knowledge is here, the implementation of the knowledge is going to stay with me forever, you know. Yes, I do plan other monetary goals, but I think my biggest focus and my biggest non-monetary goal is to actually elevate my financial education and just do better for myself. And yeah, I'll be tracking that progress as well. I've also got some financial books that I'm planning on reading. I'm really going hard in mindset and education this year for myself, and that's, you know, really a really big financial goal for myself. So yeah guys, comment down below, let me know if this video was helpful. What financial goals are you setting for yourself, monetary, non-monetary? And yeah guys, I'm really excited about the year. Hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on my next video. As always, stay hustling, keep hustling, stay motivated, and let's crush those financial goals. Bye.